So Black Adam stunned her on a hit. That's from the Emerald Green Lantern passive. And while you might not have Black Adam, you are going to eventually have Emerald Green Lantern easily.
This is the future.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvaldo Green here, and Soul Rays are back, and you might find yourself stuck in the tier 3 sub bosses, but worry not, because today we're going to talk about boss Wonder Woman, and we're going to talk about what characters you can use yourself to give yourself an advantage against her and maybe win the fights. And we'll talk about some strategies that involve characters that are easy to get. There will be some characters in this video that are harder to get, though few, but most characters and most things in this video are going to be more or less accessible to everybody watching to do themselves. So with all that being said, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because a huge percentage of you are not subscribed. It only takes one click and you can always change your mind. So with all that being said, let's get into it. This is like Heroic 2, so at the same time I'll have a firebox, but at the same time I'll have a hard time against the boss. I did this same things on Heroic 1 and Normal, so it's not going to be much of a difference. And over here we got Kilmflan Sakomen with the firebox and Shazam with the Claws of Horus. Like in this fight, in this particular fight, it's not going to be necessarily about the team, but it's going to be about the artifact, and that is Claws of Horus. Claws of Horus will give you a chance to stun the enemies with your swipe right attacks, swipe down attacks, and jump attacks. And the main problem with this fight is the fact that that boss Wonder Woman is going to have a shield. And how do you make characters not use their shields? Well, there are a few ways, but one of them is stunning them. And that's what we are going to try and do over here. But if you don't have Claws of Horus, don't worry, use the exact same team that I'm using over here and just try to use the Kilmflan Sakomen special tree until she does not block it, because she does not always block it. Over here it got blocked unfortunately, and my king could have died over there if not for the firebox, but even if he did die, he would have revived. Unfortunate stun over there because my Kilmflan Sakomen tagging was not ready. And yeah, just waiting for the stun so far, but later in the fight I'll figure out that a thing you can kind of screw with Wonder Woman is not really finishing your combo. You know, like a combo, it's tap 3 times swipe right, tap 3 times swipe right, and then use an ability. And characters with shields are kind of programmed to expect an ability. Over there, yeah, a stun from Claws of Horus and an easy special tree over there. My Claws of Horus is like level 8, you'll have better results if your Claws of Horus is higher level. But yeah, I was talking about the fact that the AI is programmed to kind of expect... Over here, she did not use Super Shield. Do you know why she did not use Super Shield? Because the AI is programmed to expect me to use an ability after swipe right. Because that's how the AI itself uses the abilities, after swipe right or at random. But the AI never uses the abilities in the middle of their combo, more or less. Sometimes they do, but from you at the very least they expect it to be after swipe right. So other than the stuns that you can sometimes get from the Claws of Horus, a way of tricking the AI is using your specials in the middle of your combo. Yet again, she did not use the super shield over here. And she was not even stunned. Let's say more of this. Over here I tried yet again to be random and it worked. That might not have worked as properly looking back on it. But yeah, going to heal a little bit over here. Yet again, I used the Shazam ability in the middle of the combo and she did not use the super shield. Over here she used the shield for some reason, though I had no control over that, so thanks NetherRealms. My Shazam is kinda dead at this point, but yeah, building up some combo. Going to use the super move over here just to make sure I get it off before the end of the fight, because she might kind of one-shot me with a special one if I don't block it. Being very careful over here. And yet again, in not finishing in a swipe right, and she does not use the super shield. So yeah, I think this is quite effective if you don't have the Claws of Horus. And there are other ways that we'll discuss over here in the video, but for Kilmflan Sakomen at the very least, it seems to work very effectively to use your special tree in the middle of your combo instead of after doing a swipe right, and she seems to not really expect that. Over here we got ourselves Multiverse Flash and Multiverse Armored Supergirl with Red Hood. This is the team from this video that some of you might not have access to, because Multiverse Armor Supergirl is not a very often encountered character, but they will perform well over here, so I'll go over this for the those of you who have this team. But this is going to, on one part, use the same principle, like I have Claws of Horus on Flash, and I'm going to rely on Claws of Horus to land the stuns. But at the same time, there are two other things. First of all, I'll be immune to reflect damage because of Multiverse Armor Supergirl's special tree, and that will give my entire team immunity to reflect damage, so I don't worry about the incoming damage, I just have to worry about dealing damage. In terms of dealing damage, there are two options. First up is going to be the Claws of Horus stunning her, and the second one is going to be Multiverse Armor Supergirl tagging in the interrupting her abilities. Because if I tag in with Multiverse Armor Supergirl and interrupt her ability, then she's obviously not going to use the shield after that, because the shield of her is an ability, and you kind of have a cooldown on your abilities. You can't immediately use one after you use the other. So that's going to be pretty much the strategy for this one. I didn't, for some reason my brain was too slow at that point, and I did not figure out the interrupting her abilities into damage dealing skill from the very start of the match. So that's why you will not see it at the start. Yet again, I did not do it for some reason. My brain was just set on the Claws of Horus strategy for this one as well. But I should have done it more than I did. Over here, random tagging into a special tree, it worked. She did not use the super shield. Yet again, in some fights she might use the super shield every time she's able to. In other fights she might use, she might not use it almost at all. Flash back in. Over here I did it. I finally figured out, like, hey, why am I being dumb? I can just do that and interrupt her abilities and use mine. Over here I tagged in because the burn was about to expire, and you don't want to let that burn expire because it stacks up a little bit. She's stunned, but not at the right moment, and I don't tag in at the right moment for the stun. Putting Flash back in. Building up some combo. She's in and straight into a special tree, and she did not seem to expect that, so she did not use the super shield. We still haven't used Red Hood. Yeah, Flash over here takes the super move. I didn't bother tagging in Red Hood because I knew Flash could tank it, and I didn't want Red Hood to die without doing his super move. Over here she used this shield, unfortunately. Like, you can have just so much luck, right? Or here she did not. I'm not sure why, because she should have been off of the ability cooldown after using her special one. But yeah, lucky me. I tagged over here just to refresh the burn. I was expecting this to get reflected. Over here, special tree after she used a special one, because yet again the AI as well as you have a cooldown on your skills, so you can't use one immediately after you have used another. By the way, I have the Firebox, to be fair and honest, on Multiverse Armor Supergirl, and that helped her survive far more than your Multiverse Armor Supergirl is most likely going to survive. So in order to counter that and make your Multiverse Armor Supergirl survive more, what you should do is put Multiverse Supergirl in the team instead of Red Hood to kind of provide you with that additional survivability if you feel like you need to. But do it if you feel like you need to, not if you test and see if you need to, because most likely you are not going to use the same team twice on this fight if you're on Heroic or something. Because while this fight is a pretty hard fight, at the same time she does not have a lot of health, so it tends to end pretty fast. So you shouldn't really worry about that one. But yeah, this was the Multiverse team. Now let's get into something that everybody should have access to. Remember how I was talking about stunning the enemy? We got over here Black Adam with Emerald Green Lantern and with Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash is there to serve as a combo builder, but we got Black Adam who's able to stun the enemy on tag-in, and at the same time we've got Emerald Green Lantern who's going to have a chance to give you on tag-in a buff that's going to allow you to stun the enemy with your basic attacks. So While not everybody is going to have Black Adam, most likely everybody is going to have Emerald Green Lantern at this point. And for the purpose that I'm using him over here to give the tagging buffs to maybe stun on hits, over here so Black Adam stunned her on a hit. That's from the Emerald Green Lantern passive. And while you might not have Black Adam, you are going to eventually have Emerald Green Lantern easily. He's not a rare character, so you can just use whatever team you want. You can put him in the Kim Flint's Aquaman team if you feel like you need to, and put Dr. Fate and Kim Flint's Aquaman or Shazam and Kim Flint's Aquaman, and just make them stun the boss Wonder Woman on hits because of the Emerald Green Lantern buff. Over here with Black Adam is also going to be very helpful the fact that he has a chance to stun her when he tags in. I'm going to still try my luck a few times with just throwing the special tree of Black Adam at her, even if she's not stunned in this fight. But overall, I think if I wouldn't have risked it when I didn't need to risk it, I would have yielded a higher amount of damage. Yet again, Black Adam is going to have Firebox on this one, a level 4 Firebox, so you might not have that fortune to have that. So it might be a little bit harder in terms of keeping your Black Adam alive. He's so tanky at the point where I was more comfortable tanking the super move with him than with Reverse Flash, and my Reverse Flash was not very upgraded at this point. Like, this was recorded back when the Soul Rates was still up in the previous, let's say, cycle, before it came back again, but it was in the last day, so if I would have released it when I recorded it, nobody would have cared because Soul Rates was not up when I could release it. So yeah, I released it now so people can kind of find it more helpful, I guess. But yeah, at that point, for those of you who kind of follow my channel, Reverse Flash was not tanky at all at this point. I've upgraded him quite a lot in the meantime, but over here he was nothing pretty much. But yeah, just over here did not work anything of what I planned, did not stun on tagging, did not stun on basic attacks, but just tried my luck with a special tree, and I think it was yet again because of the fact that I used it in the middle of the combo, same as with the deal with the Multiverse Armor Supergirl. She got stunned on tagging. Over here a mistake and I need to tag in out. I need to tag out. Thankfully I did not die. It's just the last half a minute and I was like, let's try my luck a little bit over here. But the fact that I did this actually resulted in less damage because I could not take other risks that might have yielded more damage. And yeah, this is pretty much it for the Black Adam fight. Not sure if I'll be able to really tag him back. Nah, no more damage than that. Could have gone far better, but it went decently, I guess. 6.4. Could have finished this fight with Black Adam if I played more carefully. And the last example that I'm going to give you is the Justice League team. But not necessarily the Justice League team. This applies on every single team that is going to deal damage with basic attacks. The enemy is never going to use the super shields to block basic attacks. You as a player can do it, but the enemy can never do that. Over here I kind of get hit because I was trying to see if I can combo interrupt her with Justice League Aquaman, but I don't really seem able to. But yeah, back to the point, you can use as a player the super shields to block basic attacks, but yeah, he's never going to do that. So you pretty much get free reign if you use teams that are based on doing damage with their basic attacks and just don't use abilities at all, maybe just the super moves. But again, you're going to not do damage with your swipe right attack, but at the same time it's not going to be that bad since it's just a swipe right attack. The other attacks are going to be fine, and at the same time it's not like it's an attack that is going to be ignored like with something like Silver Superman's passive, where he does not get staggered by the attack. Your attack will just deal 1, and it's not okay that it deals 1 damage, don't get me wrong, but at least it does not interrupt your combo and do a swipe right attack, and you're going to be fine for the most part using teams that rely on their basic attacks, and you're going to squeeze in that little bit of damage that you really need. And yeah, this is pretty much going to be the rest of the gameplay for this one. And this is pretty much it for the entire video. Those were the points that I could make. Yet again, let's recap it a little bit. Claws of Force are going to help on any team. Emerald Green Lantern is going to help on any team. Characters that are able to stun without having to hit the enemy with an ability like Black Adam tagging in are going to be a lot of help. the Multiverse team will be good. And if you are using Conflant Sakomen or other characters for that matter, but I'm not 100% sure since I haven't tested it on other characters, using an ability in the middle of your combo rather than at the end of your combo is going to have a much better chance to not be blocked by the super shield. But yeah, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and go in the comments for any questions that you might have. I might answer if I have the time, and I'll see you all in the next one.